We begin with former Vice President Dick Cheney. David Corn's a Washington bureau chief. He is the Washington bureau chief for Mother Jones Magazine. He also writes for CQ, Politics.com. And Tom DeFrank is the Washington bureau chief for the New York Daily News. Gentlemen, let's take a look at the first cut here. Here's Dick Cheney, the former vice president, on the Scott Hennon radio show talking about President Obama. Here he is.
Is the Obama administration, do you believe, helping the resurgence of the renaissance of the conservative cause by overreaching this very early on in the administration?
I think it will. I watch what he's doing, and especially the national security area, which is sort of my first interest in this whole question of detainees and interrogation of detainees and the terrorist surveillance program and so forth, closing Guantanamo. I don't think the vast majority of Americans support what he wants to do. I think, in fact, most Americans are pleased when they think about it that we were able to go nearly 8 years without another major attack on the United States.
I love his vocabulary, pleased, and I just love it. He's unique, Dick Cheney, but you know him well. Why is he still on the stage? Most guys who leave the vice presidency or the presidency admit to a decent interval of absence. And here's the guy that was in undisclosed locations for 8 years, unavailable to the press for most of that time, all of a sudden is standing out there in one, right on the front of the stage.
Chris, it's even more interesting to me because this is not the way he behaved when he left government twice before. Once in '77 when Ford left office, and once in '93 when Bush 41 left office. I think that the issue of fundamentalist Islamic terrorism is the core issue for Dick Cheney's rest of his life, and I think he feels more deeply about that than anything else, and he's not going to shut up about it, and he really doesn't care who has a problem with it, and if it hurts his party, I think he thinks he's doing the greater good.
And he doesn't mind being Mr. Torture.
I don't think so. I mean, I think he doesn't at all. He's not running for anything. He's certainly not softening the edges of his reputation. No, you can hear that. You can see the snarl listening to him on radio. That Daryl Hammond thing, you know. He has that snarl. Richard Dreyfuss does the same thing in the movies. Go ahead.
Well, you know, it's sort of like Jason from Friday the 13th. He just keeps coming back and back and back again.
But he hasn't left.
But it's never a new act. What he said in this interview is what he says about every 2-3 weeks now.